Okay, so this talk is going to be a bit lighter, hopefully. Going to show a few technologies that didn't make it to the keynote at WWDC. And first, a few words about myself. I'm a freelance developer. I work mostly on Apple platforms and usually on low-level stuff such as audio and video processing, real-time or real-time-ish applications, embedded stuff, and things like that. So that means that this presentation is going to be quite biased, of course. And well, mainstream and niche can have different meanings for different people. So hopefully you'll get some things from this talk. And some other technologies I'm going to show not all new because some of them are based on open source stuff, and there were discussions about them before WWDC. So let's start with Swift and Swift 6.2. Swift 6.2 introduces a new observations API that allows to generate an async sequence from any observable type. So this API was barely mentioned in what's new in Swift, with no examples, nothing. The only example I could just see at WWDC was in the WebKit session. So it works like this. If you have an observable class with any kind of property, you just call the observations API with a closure mentioning the property you want to observe, and then you get an async sequence. And that's all. While I'm talking about observable, there is something new in UIKit with observable. For the few of you who are still using UIKit, anybody here? Yeah, okay. With UIKit and iOS 26, if you use any observable property in some methods like layout subviews and so on, these methods will be called automatically when the observed properties change. So it's property tracking for free. And the good news is that it's even backported to iOS 18. So it's available now. Well, almost. You have to use the new Xcode for that. And it's the same for UI collection view cell with the update closure. If you reference any observable property in the update closure, the update is done automatically. So next, maybe a bit more niche is Java interoperability. It's not exactly new because it was announced at the server-side Swift conference in 2024, so it was late last year. But it was relying on the foreign function API that was introduced in Java 22. So it's really new. It's 1 year old or something. And what's new at WWDC is that this interoperability framework now supports JNI. so you can have support for older versions of Java. And you also have integration with the build systems like Gradle. For now, it's mostly server-oriented, so there's no official way to plug Kotlin code, let's say Android or whatever, for now. And that's it. So it's open source. It provides two libraries, one called SwiftKit in Java and another one called JavaKit in Swift. And it enables to call methods from one language to another. So something that's going to probably be more useful for all of you is about C and C++ interoperability. Oh, better. Interop, sorry. And with Swift 6.2, you have a span type, which enables a safer way to manage memory. It's basically a span is a pointer and the number of elements. So it's a bit like an unsafe buffer pointer in Swift. But at the same time, it manages the life cycle of the pointed memory. There is some modifications to do on the C code to enable the whole safe behavior, but basically all you have to do is when you have a C function that takes a pointer and a count, you just have to decorate the declaration to make the pointer related to the count, or the count related to the pointer, so that when you pass a span, the Swift compiler can get hints from the C code that there is no mismatch between the pointer and the size. And it's also not escapable. So that's an introduction to non-escapable types in Swift. That's new. So you can have types that are granted at compile time that they are not going to be used outside of the scope of the coder. So you cannot pass them, for instance, to an escape enclosure or store them somewhere and reuse them and so on. And another new type used mostly in C interop is the inline array. It's basically it's a constant size array, and it's great for performance because it can be located on the stack if it's not too big. It can be you don't have the overhead of the usual Swift arrays. And during the C interop session, there was a library that was mentioned. It's a binary passing library in Swift. So this library actually is not directly related to C interop. It can be used from anywhere in Swift. And it allows to create strongly typed parser for binary data. So yeah, it can be useful. Another technologies that was shown at WWDC is WASM in Swift. So now it's possible to use the Swift compiler to generate WASM code. And so it's not exactly new because it was shown maybe 6 or 8 months ago. What's new is that now there is an Apple Vision document for official support. So it's going to be supported officially. And the recommended way to use to generate WASM code from Swift is to use the embedded Swift compiler, because you don't have the Swift runtime overhead. So, few words about tooling. Same thing, it's not exactly new because all these tools are open source, but Swift build is what's behind Xcode build. So it's the build system for Xcode. For now, it's different from SPM build, but we can expect a merge sometime in the future. It was mentioned. Another feature that is interesting is the traits feature in the Swift package manager. It allows to propagate settings to dependencies, and it's especially useful when you are doing embedded stuff, because you have to pass specific compiler settings all the way down. Swiftly is a tool that can be used every day if you need to navigate between different versions of the Swift toolchain. So Swiftly allows to download and install and select a toolchain from the command line. And last but not least, if you are using macros, from now, compiling code with macro is a bit slow, is even very slow, especially on a CI where you rebuild everything from scratch all the time. And now there is support for pre-built versions of Swift syntax. That's what was slow in macros, because all macros, or almost all macros, expect Swift syntax to be available. So, yeah. So that was about Swift. Now a few things about ML and AI. Not going to talk about the elephant in the room, of course. It's a nice technology, but yeah. So a framework that can be very useful is Speech Analyzer. Actually, it's two frameworks. There's Speech Analyzer and Speech Transcriber. Speech Analyzer interprets the audio, and Speech Transcriber generates the text. For now, there are 10 languages that are supported, and yeah, it provides an async sequence so that you can have live transcript with time codes and everything. And yeah, it can be probably a Sherlock for WhisperKit. Another session that was not very well, that was not mentioned in either the keynote or the the state of the union, except for the input device selection on iPadOS, is audio input. And audio input allows to capture a 3D scene. So you can do a real 3D audio capture, and it can be plugged to an AV asset writer. So same stuff as usual if you want to record audio. And then for playback, you can use either AV player or the new AU audio mix audio unit that enables to separate the voice and the background in real time. Next, MLX. MLX is a way to train or to retrain or quantize LLM, large language models. And it provides both a command line interface and an API in Swift, Python, C, and C++. Actually, the Python API is similar to NumPy for the low level, similar to PyTorch for the high level. And the Swift API is sort of designed based on the Python API. So it's quite easy to use. So it can be used to retrain a model. To use a model, you can download a large model and use it from the command line. So prompt your model and get output. It works with text and image generators. And you can optimize an existing model by quantizing layers. So it works layer by layer. You can, for instance, apply very strong quantization in the middle layers and keep the input and output layers with more precision. Again, it's open source, so something probably more niche is BNNS Graph Builder. Again, it's not completely new because BNNS and BNNS Graph were announced at WWDC last year. It's part of the Accelerate framework, and basically it enables tensor computations in real time or with very low latency. So it can be used for ML inference mostly, and to pre-process or post-process audio and video in real time. And the new announcement at this year's WWDC is the Graph Builder. It's a very nice and very easy to use Swift API above BNNS Graph. So it allows to generate a graph and to optimize it very easily. Because BNNS Graph API is, it's part of Accelerate framework, so it's not that easy to use. And last but not least, the network and backend frameworks and technologies. Adam spoke about containerization, so I'm not going to give more details. And then a new framework is Wi-Fi aware. So it's a way to start peer-to-peer Wi-Fi connections, so between devices that may be connected to different Wi-Fi hotspots or not connected to any hotspot. So it works a bit like WDL, Apple Wireless something, direct link. So that's the framework that it's a private framework, of course. It's the framework that is used by AirDrop and all these technologies. So Wi-Fi Aware is based on neighborhood-aware networking. It's an open standard, and the registration is a bit like Bonjour. It's based on a central registry at INA, and you can publish your services there, and so you can have standard services. And it's supported by a new browser in the network framework, and it's also supported by the accessory setup kit that was announced last year. And I think we have to thank the EU for this one, because actually in the May, the EU requested Apple to somehow open AirDrop. So that's Apple's reply. The only thing is that, did I lose the connection? Anyway, the only thing is that the DMI request was for iOS 19, and we'll have to wait until iOS 26. And that's about it. So, yeah. So, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Frank. I think
the
setup just died just before the end.
Zoom dropped the connection.
I have a first question. How many WWDC sessions have you watched?
Didn't count. Probably around 50.
Sure. Do we have some questions about the number of WWDC sessions or anything else? It seems it was pretty clear. Do you have other sessions that you would recommend to watch? Maybe none of the...
So many good sessions. Depends on what you are interested in. But yeah, MLX, definitely. MLX. If you are into AI. So many.
If you can keep only 3.
Oh.
Amongst the 50-ish.
Yeah. What's new in Swift, of course.
Okay. MLX,
and maybe Wi-Fi Aware.
Okay, so this one was really good.
Yeah, the content was good. I don't remember exactly the presentation itself, but yeah.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. Did it ring a bell for another question? No, that's fine. Okay, thank you, Frank.
Thank you.